So, ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats and, of course, welcome back to the International Mayors Summit. We're about to start the main part of our program, and right now we'll have a very interesting part of our summit. So once again, welcome back to the 5th International Mayors Summit. And since the first summit, we intended to demonstrate how cities are developing, what innovative solutions they have implemented, how they cooperate to ensure a better, sustainable future of their citizens. Pictures of the greatest projects or solutions that other cities and communities could potentially apply serve as an instrument to recognize the efforts of cities and strengthen the others. And during this part, we will have 7 pictures from Ukraine, Moldova, and Romania. And let's start with the city of Lviv, because Lviv has been always considered as a cultural and historic capital of Ukraine. With the full-scale Russian invasion, Lviv hosted hundreds of thousands internally displaced persons and is now turning into their rehabilitation spot in Ukraine. Lviv as a whole, Ukraine is unbroken. And I'm pleased to invite the mayor of Lviv, Andriy Sadovyy.
Good afternoon, my friends. Thank you for invitation. It is a great honor for me to speak to you. I prepare for you a short presentation about unique ecosystem of humanity unbroken. Lviv, capital of culture of Ukraine. Next slide, please. Okay. Capital of culture of Ukraine. Today, Lviv, huge humanitarian hub. 5 million internally displaced people passed through Lviv during Russian invasion. We had days when Lviv hosted 2 million per day. Today, Lviv hosted 150,000 IDPs, internally displaced people. We built special temporary housing for special temporary housing for our new citizens. We rebuilt a lot of location, but today Lviv big home for a lot of people from Mariupol, Melitopol, Skadovsk, and different Ukrainian cities. From time to time, Russian missiles attack my city, but last summer Russian rockets destroy 4 buildings and kill 10 civilian people. This old slide, but new slide. So we rebuilt the situation. Only our municipal hospital hosted 16,000 wounded civilian, children, women, elderly people, and Ukrainian soldiers. Family Stepanenko. During evacuation, Russian missiles attacked Kramatorsk railway station, and Yana lost both legs. Mother lost 1 leg. After rehabilitation, Yana took part in Lviv marathon. But in this moment, Yana in Boston, and Yana will take part in Boston marathon. Great! Next slide. This is our hospital, adult hospital, children hospital, rehabilitation center. This together 200,000 square meters. 5,000 medical specialists. We have in our hospital 2,200 beds. Today, all beds full, but all time I think about new location, new place. This Mikhailo received first bionic prosthetics September 22, without leg, without hand. He cannot swim. today Mikhailo diver. Waves. Oh. We have a special program with Croatia Veteran Association, and 1 week in diving equal 3 months in the rehabilitation center. It is very unique practice. Next slide. This Lubomir from National Academy of Art, sculpture. Today, Lubomir make prosthetics and make prosthetics for children. This next month we will open in huge manufacture of prosthetics. It is our rehabilitation. This huge manufacture of prosthetics. 1,000 prosthetics per year for workers. This people with prosthetics will make prosthetics for brother veterans. This is very good idea. Next slide. This is our rehabilitation center. We dedicate 1 floor city Vilnius, next floor city Freiburg, city Warsaw. A lot of people from different cities support Lviv, support our rehabilitation center. A lot of company, IKEA, Samsung, Philips. Next slide. This typical place for physical rehabilitation. Next. This unbroken sport. It's very important part. After rehabilitation, we must think about sport, but together with our Canadian partners, we think about build special arena for slash hockey for people with disability. Next slide. This mental health. Secret information. Physical rehabilitation without psychological, zero effect. Only combination, but we expand our potential about mental health. Special location, we renovate this location with Flandria for people after torture. Very often people cannot speak about past, but they painting. It's first painting at first contact, next just during rehabilitation. Very tough topic. This unbroken art, very good idea. Next. This we have today 2 special veteran hub in my city. Until December we will have 6. It is not only for veteran, it is for families. Conversation, communication, very important part. We started build special accommodation for wounded. We have support from Union Commission, European Commission. Next. We renovate this building for next rehabilitation center together with Taiwan. Next. This building we renovate together with Japanese Red Cross, next 8,000 square meters for our patient. This unique project, Shigeru Ban, very famous Japanese architect, is this moment make architecture project for surgery building. This new heart, our hospital, 25,000 square meters, material wood, very innovation project. It's my favorite place, unbroken mothers for pregnant women. The next slide. This ecosystem, adult hospital, children hospital, rehabilitation center, next part rehabilitation center, next part our hospital. We planning next building together with company Samsung, special location for elderly people, for accommodation, manufacture of prosthetics, unbroken sport, new tram line. We have project together with EBRD. We renovate park for physical rehabilitation. It is huge ecosystem. I am not doctor, I am mayor, but I must think about surgery, high level quality, about temporary permanent prosthetics, about psychological, physical, social rehabilitation. I must think about new accommodation, about unbroken sport, unbroken art. It is my duty today. Next. This is our partners, a lot of cities, together with Mayor of Manchester and Mayor of Liverpool, we found special community Unbroken Cities. We have good collaboration with cities in all democratic countries. It's my idea. Every Ukrainian cities must have partnership with cities in all democratic countries. We must build strong bridge between Ukrainian cities and Moldova cities. You support this idea? Great. It is very important for our stability and for future. Next slide. Oh my God. We reserve a huge percent of our budget to support Ukrainian army. 30,000 my citizens are in front line today. 30,000. Every family sent brothers, fathers to front line. But every week we buying different military equipment, and we have good production military equipment in Lviv. This drone, different anti-drone system. We invest money to innovation, but we have in Lviv a huge IT cluster, 40,000 people. Today, IT cluster rebuilt to military protect cluster. It is very important for my city, and you must think about future. We must be strong. It is crazy. This our local production, different equipment. And we built in Lviv 3 new industrial park. We think about job for our veteran. We host in Lviv a lot of companies from East Ukraine, but today Lviv very important for Ukraine and for Europe. And please, short video about Unbroken, please.
To look in the mirror. What is strength? To find a foothold. What is victory? To feel the wind. What is freedom? To fly underwater. This is their new start. New history.
Тепер у мене червоний пояс.
Я продовжую танцювати.
Я почала бігати.
Я батько.
New life.
Thank you. It is unbroken. Thank you for the invitation. I believe in our victory. You must believe in our victory. We must build our victory together. Never give up. Only victory. Moldova, Ukraine. Thank you. Glory. Слава Україні.
Andriy Sadovyy, Mayor of Lviv, thank you so much. Дякуємо. So, ladies and gentlemen, from Lviv in the west part of Ukraine to Mykolaiv in south. Mykolaiv has been constantly under attacks from the first days of the full-scale Russian invasion. Just 2 years ago, it was partially destroyed, and of course, there are a lot of different problems. The city has been damaged, but people choose to live there. The attacks of the critical infrastructure led to the damage of water supply system of all the city. It is hard to imagine, but they had salty water to filter to make it drinkable. But the city is fighting and of course is building with the partners the new water supply system. Right now I'd like to invite on stage Oleksandr Senkevych, the mayor of Mykolaiv, to share this story. Please welcome.
Hello, do you hear me? Yeah, okay. Hello, my friends. It's a very big honor for me to be here with you. Thanking to our armed force of Ukraine, I'm able to be here, thinking that our city is in a safe place now. Unfortunately, there is no safety place now in Ukraine, but at least people of Mykolaiv can now live without constant attacks from the outside of the city. We wanted to share with you with information about the problem that we have now with the drinking water. Actually, Russians as terrorists destroyed our pipeline which brought the fresh water from the Dnieper city, the biggest the Dnieper river, which is the biggest river in Ukraine, to the city of Mykolaiv. After that, we tried to figure out how to give water to people, and made a decision to bring it from the Southbrook River, which stays near us. But unfortunately, to the closeness to the Black Sea, this water is salty. So now our people, the city of Mykolaiv, the people of city of Mykolaiv, every day go to the water spots where we drill around the city, get the water in the plastic bottles and bring them home. So you can imagine the 500,000 city every day go to the water spots, get the fresh water to bring it home. But today we decided to change somehow my presentation to make it more let's say useful for you, because it's not about the water, because thinking to our partners, we have a strong plan how to bring fresh water back to the city of Mykolaiv. But today I would like to, so let me put you in a context. As you see, here is the map of Ukraine. Here is the city of Mykolaiv. With the rosy one, you can see the territories which now temporarily occupied by Russians. The green ones are territories which were deoccupied. As you see, the city of Mykolaiv was surrounded by Russians. Actually, our city is called the Southern Fortress of Ukraine, because we avoid the invasion to the city. Thanking to our city citizens and armed force of Ukraine, we pushed Russians back and to Kherson, where they came from, and then to the left bank of the Dnieper River. After that, our city got the status of city hero, but I usually call our city city of heroes. Since that time, so it's like 2 years since those dates. No. Okay. As you see, these news items, they were talking about everyday shellings, destroyed buildings, killed people, and for sure, everything that Russians do now in Ukraine. They terrorized our city, and we had like 262 days of bombardments in our city. We count them. And every bombardment is another day, another problems, another casualties. As you see on that right top image, the Mykolaiv regional administration, that was a day when rocket killed 40 people in the building. just people who worked on a daily basis doing some administrative services. There was a court on the last two floors, and all the people who died in that attack were just civilians, no military personnel. After that day, we have very fruitful cooperation, because in that day our president had a meeting with the government of Denmark, and he said that it will be really good for Denmark government to take a patronage, or like we say, to be a sister city country, or I usually say they adopted us. So and build a cooperation on the city-country basis. Since the beginning of the war, we have fruitful cooperation with our partners. We now rethink how to survive in this war, but also how to use this time to make our city better. So we now work on the strategy documents like city strategy, recovery plan, and master plan. Our master plan now is created under the umbrella of United Nations Economic Commission for Europe. Together with Kharkiv city, we are working on our master plan with Italian company OneWorks, together with Danish company Covi Group, who are now working on the master plan, which will be the guide how to rebuild and build city in future, not depending on mayor or city council or something like this, but more on the rule how to rebuild the city and the plan. As you see, we have now really fruitful cooperation with Denmark. We opened the first in Ukraine the division of embassy of Denmark in the city of Mykolaiv, and we really value the significant commitment of Denmark in the survival of the city of Mykolaiv. But I usually say that people say that any success is about 10% of talent and 90% of hard work. I usually say it's 89% of hard work, because 1% is always luck. We are lucky because we have our cities and countries partners. Here we will have the city of Helm and Brașov, who are our partners, and we'll have panels later. But they helped us a lot while the hardest days, and we plan to cooperate with them in future. Those are different institutions who help us to survive and to build our city plan to survive, for survival. But I think sometimes I do lectures in university, and students ask me, what is the hardest thing in the mayor's work? I say every day's fight with temptations. You know, if you are mayors, that you have a lot of temptations, you know, budget, land, and everything. So it's about human nature. You have temptations, and people have temptations. That's why I don't trust people. I trust systems. So we need to build integrity systems which will for sure depend on people, but less on people, but more on rules. That's why our city thinks that integrity is a key to success. That's why we do, together with, I need to mention, European Anti-Corruption Initiative, who now works with the city, we do different types of activities, including adjustment process of municipal companies, creating transparent accounting and everything connected with procurement procedures. So yeah, it's not about me, because I'm a mayor, I was elected, and the next mayor after me should follow the rules, but not follow me. We also do tracking losses and damages. We also will be the first city in Ukraine who will launch in the nearest time, in the next months. We will launch the website which tracks all the international help, all the international aid that we got while the war, where it is, how much, who got it, who will get it, and where it's stored, and everything about the help that we got from our partners. So transparency and integrity is a really key to cooperation in future with our partners, because trust is about transparency. Yeah, so I think I lost something because I prepared a long list to read, but for sure this is the main things already said. I want to say again to all of our partners, to those who I showed on my slides, because victory is not about Ukraine by itself. For sure, we need to say thank you to our brave people who serve now in army, because as I usually say, you can build a rocket in 3 months, you can build a tank in 8 months, but you need at least 18 years to build a soldier. And for sure, we now need all that equipment to save the lives of our most valuable asset, our people, our armed forces. And for sure, we're really thankful for our partners, because now war in Ukraine is not a war between Russia and Ukraine. It's a war between two different types of civilizations. It's a Western world and Russianism, which we need to fight and kill. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your help. And I really expect for the fruitful cooperation in future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Oleksandr Senkevych, Mayor of Mykolaiv. Thank you. And now, dear friends, let's move from Ukraine to Moldova, and now let's talk a little about the wonderful city of Văleni. Văleni was awarded the best tourism villages by the World Tourism Organization in 2023, competing against, just imagine, 260 villages from 60 countries. This marked the first time for the Republic of Moldova received recognition in this prestigious competition, and of course highlighting Văleni is a must-visit tourism destination. Additionally, Văleni became the site of Moldova's first smart village pilot project, launching the village's solar tree. This initiative, the first of its kind in a rural community in Moldova and Eastern Europe, was realized through the transfer of best practices from Romania. So let's get know more about this project and this wonderful city. Please welcome on stage Silvia Știrbeț, the mayor of Văleni.
Bună ziua tuturor! Excelent!
Good morning, everyone, Your Excellencies, dear colleagues from Moldova, Ukraine, and Europe. It is an honor for me to address this forum and present the Văleni village, which is a paradise place, and God has worked hard in order to give everything to Văleni, because we have a natural rock monuments and the Prut River with the most beautiful Beleu lake. I was invited here to tell you about our experience. My father actually taught me, don't boast, let others praise you, but I will tell you what we have been doing in Văleni so far. Talking about synergy between traditions and habits, and from the cultural heritage that we inherited from our ancestors and that we take care of, and we understand that it is our duty and responsibility to keep it and pass it on to our children. We have defined several objectives in our efforts. First of all, to have a very consistent approach to all these strong, resilient initiatives that include innovation, digitalization and adaptability to new conditions, because we all understand that without innovation and digitalization, we cannot move forward. This is the driver of global development. And another objective that we have set refers to the use of modern technologies and capitalization of natural resources that the God has given to us. When I say natural resources, I refer to vegetation that is abundant in the valley of Prut River and around the Beleu Lake. And there are certain challenges we face in that sense. I'm also referring to the renewable energy sources, and we are writing projects and applying for funds. And I'm also referring to the supreme reserve that we have and the greatest treasure, people. And people in Văleni are trying to pass on what is the most precious to their children, keeping pace with the new developments, new technologies. I will tell you about several projects, and thank you for the introduction. So the projects we've implemented in Văleni. A project that is very close to my heart, and namely migration and local development implemented by UNDP on local economic development. A project that has taught us a lot. We've learned a lot from it. We've grown. We've learned how to prioritize our activities and drawing and a roadmap taken into account all the economic advantages, and we decided to focus on developing rural tourism and local development with all the splendor of the heritage of our village. Within this project, Văleni, a holiday village, we focused on developing local touristic infrastructure. We created a local fair of local producers. We also arranged a guest house in that natural area that I mentioned about, with all the traditions. And the most important is that we encouraged and we actually infected for other residents of our village to open guest houses based on their households in order to receive guests and share with them and show them the best that they have around their house, and also to be able to earn their living in dignity at home. Another project that within which we have tried to combine innovation with traditions was the project Smart Solutions for Smart Communities. Well, what is smart in Văleni? We managed to install solar panels on the building of the local secondary school and the local kindergartens, thus optimizing the use of energy resources, and at the same time showcasing children that we need to save money and energy resources by using solar energy, water energy, to go back to the wisdom of our ancestors, but at another level already. Beside those solar panels within the same project, we installed a solar tree in the center of our village, in front of the cultural center. And it is like urban art peace, but at the same time, children and adults and the elderly and tourists have this place where they can charge their devices, where they connect to Wi-Fi and find their way on the map, because the next step is digitalization of the tourist paths in the area. All these projects have had a component related to youth engagement and empowerment. And in particular, you know, in all these wonderful digitalization initiatives in a tech center established in Cahul, there are youth groups that we train, that we engage in joint projects. And another project, Rediscover Prut Meadow. We installed 2 towers because tourist infrastructure was absent. So 2 towers to watch the nature. One on the part of Slobozia Mare and the other on the part of Văleni village. Apart from that, the environmental paths around the Beleu Lake and the natural reserves, the biospheric reserve, the Low Prut. So thus, this towers made this area more accessible to visitors and guests. Several pictures taken within the project activities above mentioned, and actually forgot to say that an important thing in the project Văleni Holiday Village was to develop our village identity, the logo, and in that sense we connected with the creative industries in Moldova, those who created the touristic brand of our country, and this identity includes everything that we have, the golden hills, the bread, the traditional decoration, and the crown of Petrorareș, because we are very proud of our history, and the name of this great prince is also related to our village. The handmade fair, and is also emblematic of our village. Souvenirs are produced that tourists take home gladly. The platform that is managing our digital tourist routes, and that solar tree that you can see in the picture, which is a source of renewable energy. We had a GIZ project on community empowerment, and so all the children members of the environmental circle infected them with the idea that we have to protect our environment, we have to go back to the wisdom of our ancestors and use natural resources like water, air, and sunlight, but at a different level. Surely, we do face challenges in our efforts, and you all know, dear mayors, what these challenges are. In the first place, there's a long and bureaucratic procedure of coordinating and approving projects. We had a project, we were about to build a solar plant for 200 kilowatts, and we couldn't get the approval because the economic operator was blocked. So it's difficult for us. And when I talk about these difficulties in getting permits and endorsements from all the public institutions, and I also refer to the environment legislation and this sending back and forth. Also, Another challenge is poor, weak public-private partnership. We need to engage the academic environment in all our activities, so the local public authorities, the business sector. At least in the tourism sector, there is still a lot of work to do in terms of research and development. And in Hahul cluster, this is what we are doing. We're engaging universities in those activities. The impact is large. In the first place, I'm happy that the entire village has realized that rural tourism is the driving force that will help us live a better and more beautiful life. We have managed to change the mindset, to change the perceptions. When in 2008 and 2009 we were talking about tourism in a village in the Prut Meadow, that was interesting. But actually now we have been recognized. We have the biospheric reservation as a basic component. We communicate a lot. All the villages are engaged in the value chain of rural tourism, starting with the focus groups and then connecting local producers, tourism operators, and together we are one big united family that is working in order to contribute to the development of our village and the entire country. How we would like to see our future? We would like to have a European village with peace. We would like this water, and in order for us to be able to live our lives beautifully and benefit from what we all have. Thank you very much for your attention, and God bless us. Thank you.
Văleni, thank you so much for your job and your performance. Let's move to the next city, which is Edineț is implementing one of the major EU-funded projects developed with a specific objective to improve the quality of urban development, citizen satisfaction and public service. The project expects to implement a variety of smart solutions to ensure smart governance, including local e-governance, urban mobility, public lighting, water supply, public security, green area management, business education, and living conditions. And right now I'd like to invite on this stage, with your applause of course, the mayor of Edineț, Constantin Cojocaru, to tell more about all these projects.
Good morning, everyone. You have a sick person in front of you. And I have sick people in front of me, those who are really caring about their communities, their countries. We have to understand that only these people who truly care can actually change their environment, their communities. And we are people who can do that, and this is very important. It is important for us, those who represent the local government and the central public authorities, to demonstrate that we are united. I will speak today about initiatives implemented by a medium-sized town in Moldova, because Moldova is like a region in Ukraine by territory, but where all the homes, where all our homes are open to our friends, colleagues, both from Ukraine and Romania, because the history unites us, and we are the history. So, innovations in Edineț. A town closer to Czernivtsi, Vinica, Botoșani than Chișinău. Many projects have been implemented, but I would like to focus on one in particular. Edineț, a smart city, a smart town. And I would like everyone to get infected because partnerships are contagious, and partnerships with Ukraine, Romania and Europe, because we're all part of Europe. A smart project in education, transport, urban mobility, sanitation, economy, and public services. A project supported by the EU delegation between Edineț and Alba Iulia, sister town in Romania. And it is very important to learn from this experience and use it in future partnerships. Several objectives were defined: modern transport and urban mobility in the first place, and innovation for the Republic of Moldova, sustainable street lighting, and education and inclusion of the future citizens. It is very important. So these are these are transport units for small cities, towns, with 22 seats, which comply with the standards Euro 6 and 6+. And this is an innovative aspect for Edineț and for the entire Republic of Moldova. With further electric bicycles as well as other transport units implemented. It is very important to realize that other services are also important: photovoltaic elements, street lighting, and other things. It is very important that they have managed to establish good cooperation with the educational institutions. Because a new curricula has been implemented in the Republic of Moldova for children at the beginning of their way, that will be piloted for the entire country. And why not for the entire east and the western space, because the Republic of Moldova is on the border between east and west. It is also important to realize that these projects bring us closer not only to the communities but also as countries, and bring us closer to the European space we aspire to access. And we have implemented a project worth 4.3 million euros with our sister town Alba Iulia from Romania, and we upgraded the street lighting system by implementing the photovoltaic element. So here you can see how it looks. Almost all the cameras, video cameras, were installed along the streets in order to monitor this system. The innovative elements were also introduced related to educational activities. Under the financial aspect, 4.3 million euros were piloted for the Republic of Moldova. And for the Republic of Moldova, this is a big amount of money, because and the project also included a capacity building component. 4.3 million euros 3.7 for Edineț, and the rest 600,000 for Alba Iulia. They have been great partners, and partnerships are very important. And we have many Moldovan mayors who have had similar experience. And I am sure that they are all open to establish such partnerships. Beyond the green spaces, human factor is very important. The Republic of Moldova is open. Our homes are open, our souls are open, our hearts are open, and we are always eager to offer the best we have to Ukrainians and to the entire European community.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the third country in this part, which is Romania. Brașov, city of Brașov, aims to be the Romanian city with the highest quality of life and the green capital of the country. The mayor proposes a bold vision of sustainable development of the city with an emphasis on alternative mobility, energy independence, environment-conscious tourism, developing and diversifying university education, attracting investors from the tech and IT area, as well as capitalizing on the historical, cultural and natural heritage that Brașov prides itself on. I'm pleased to invite the mayor of Brașov, Alan Coliban. Please welcome.
As you are. Your Excellencies, dear fellow mayors, honorable guests. I would start my presentation with a song, but I won't sing. I will just quote it. The song says, "I drove all night to get to you." And this is the actual truth. I was supposed to come by flying, but yesterday the hockey team of my city won the final of Erste Liga, which was the biggest hockey competition in our region. I couldn't miss that show, so I had to drive all night to come to you and to meet you. And why did I do that? Because first of all, I wanted to meet some old friends that I never met in person. And Mr. Oleksandr Senkevych, who is the mayor of Mykolaiv, was here on the stage. We shared the same stage, and it's an honor for me. And I wanted to shake his hand, to meet him in person with the first opportunity that I get, because we were in contact since the first days of the war. Because it's also our role to support and to applaud and to encourage the fight they are fighting, the fight for the good cause, the fight that it's actually protecting not only the borders, but also our values and our democracy. So please join me in applauding all the things that Ukraine is doing. Slava Ukraini! Second, I wanted to come here to make new friends and also to discuss and share experiences and solutions for the sake of our cities, because we're all living in a world of transitioning. And it may be strange to be here on the stage to discuss about our challenge to become a green capital of our country, but also of Europe, because there is this kind of title, the green capital of Europe, when we are discussing about communities that are rebuilding their homes and their hospitals. But still, my mission here, I perceive it to be a discussion about the future and to bring a new hope, because everything we're doing as part of European Union and accessing the European funds, and also adjusting to the new ideas of developing better communities. And either building or rebuilding our communities, I think it's important to discuss about these solutions. So I will start by showcasing a bit of Brașov. Brașov is a city right in the middle of Romania with around 300,000 inhabitants, and also the most touristic city in our country. It has about 47% covered by canopy. That means we are very close to nature. We are very fortunate to have nature not only around the city but also in the city. And also we struggle with changing some of the paradigms in terms of transportation, in terms of mobility, in terms of the way we regard energy and how to produce it. So these are some basic figures. Also, the main challenges, as I've seen other local administrations in other countries are facing, are starting with bureaucracy, with the legislation and how to correlate all the laws that are not updated, but also very important to educate our public servants towards the new paradigm and also to gain our citizens' support. We cannot rebuild or we cannot get to the next stage without having the citizens involved in this transition. Now, we have 5 pillars of our sustainable growth, 5 main areas where we're developing. First is the mobility with the public transportation. We're close and we're getting closer to have 100% green transportation inside the city. You see the budgets, which are impressive, around 80 million euros, mostly our European money that we're getting. We're getting grants in order to buy more electric buses and trolley buses. Also, we have a Velo master plan, and I will show you in a minute why we need also to think also about cycling. And the war showed us how important energy independence is. And we're right now building our own solar park with around 30,000 solar panels, which would produce around 20 megawatt power. That would cover up to 90% of the energy that we need for our city. This is a project that will be finalized in August this year. Also, the way we're treating waste, it's not garbage, it is a resource, and how to reuse this resource, how to reduce the quantities down to zero, the quantities that are stored in landfills. And also, we have a very ambitious plan to open and arrange new parks in the city. Why? Because we want, in the core, the vision is Brașov being a city with wealthy, happy and healthy citizens, and all these translate to having a clean air, to having a high health index, to have young people to choose to remain in the city and be proud of the city they are living in, and also to create opportunities for business. I would like to also show you some of the flagship projects that we were having under development right now. First of all, when we're talking about mobility, we have a few points that are important to highlight. Currently, we have around 46% of the trips inside the city that are made by personal cars. We want to cut it down to 25% and increase the threshold of the public transportation, but also of the cycling. Why is that? Because all the studies that we conducted show that the length of the trip inside the city is roughly 11 minutes. So this kind of trip, this kind of length of the trip can be easily covered by bicycles or public transportation. Also, there is a shift in demographics in terms of people moving to the wider metropolitan areas. So we need to extend public transportation and the connectivity to the wider metropolitan area. We have a plan to introduce a metropolitan train and many other projects. For the cycling infrastructure, the plan is by 2027 to have 80 kilometers of cycling infrastructure to interconnect all the neighborhoods, but also on a longer run by 2035 to have 105 kilometers. We can discuss also after this presentation about the details of this plan. What we've done also, we brought to the city, actually to the ski resort that is the neighborhood of our city, Poiana Brașov being the largest mountain resort in Romania, we brought the biggest mountain music festival in a mountain resort. And for that we had a 100% green mobility plan with public transportation, blocking the roads for private cars. So this was a very good showcase that people are actually collaborating with us in these aspects. We've done the master plan that I talked about with all the projects, all the lanes that are going to be developed in the city from now up to 2030 and 2035. And also, we created some days and some parades where we closed down for a period of time the lanes and give the streets to bicycles. And we had thousands of people being part of these endeavors. Also, we are building the largest municipality-owned solar park with European funding. As I said, 20 megawatts, about 90% of the public consumption. When I talk about public consumption, I'm referring to public transportation, but also the electricity that's needed inside all the schools, kindergartens, public buildings, and so on. And also another nice project, we used the first letters from the plastic bottles, PET, and we created Petrica. I think our Moldovan friends understand the way we played with the word. Petrica is called like Peter, and it's an RVM, a reverse vending machine. We encourage people to collect their bottles and all recipients, and to use this kind of RVMs in order to get free trips with the buses. So with 10 recipients, you receive one ticket for the buses. And it was amazing. It was a great showcase that people are actually engaging in this kind of campaigns. We got more than 6 million recipients collected through this. Also, talking about new parks, you see in the upper right corner, there's a former industrial platform. We want to transform it to the largest public park that we're having, more than 9 hectares of land to be transformed into a public park. This is what actually citizens want. And I will close my presentation by reminding you and informing you about the Green Cities Forum, which is this year we will have the 4th edition. It's already the biggest sustainability event in Romania, and it's an event that you're all invited to be part of. It's an international event. We have mayors from European cities, from the region. We have experts, we have panels, we have days of discussions about sustainability, about solutions, about projects, and how to share them and learn from each other. So for 2024, you're all invited. I'll have some invitations and some printed materials with me. I'll be here for the rest of the day. Feel free to get in touch with me, and I hope you find some inspiration in what we are doing, and I'm willing to discuss more into details about that. But going back home really inspired of everything you are doing and what the presentation showed so far. We're all particular in our way, and we all have specific challenges, but we're all here for the sake of our communities and to build a better future for our kids. Thank you very much, and good luck with this challenge.
Thank you. Alan Coliban, Mayor of Brașov, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, the Romanian City Managers Association represents public administrations from over 700 local public institutions, such as county councils, municipalities, towns, and villages. The association is dedicated to professionalizing the role of public administrators and establishing a clear, relevant, and unified image of their role and activities. The goals of the association focus on professionalizing and enhancing the capacity of this contractual public service function, which is pivotal in ensuring administrative efficiency. Right now, I'd like to invite to the stage the president of association, Marian Florea, who will talk about the job of and the goal of the association itself. Please welcome.
I am the president of the Association of Local Administrations in Romania. I represent 700 different kinds of units, such as counties, municipalities, cities and villages. We were set up in 2010 as a pilot project entitled Successful Public Manager at Local Level. We committed to create an image of a professional public administrator that would be relevant and professional. And we need to be more professional in our behavior. You see, we needed a city manager in Romania, a professional city manager everywhere, because we have to have professional administration in counties, communities, and in other places. We want to make public service professional, and they should be able to do the tasks delegated by the mayor. And this is all based on a management contract, based on management objectives and clear performance criteria. City manager is something typical for an efficient local public administration everywhere. And we took the step from public administration to public management, emphasizing the need of quality services for people. At local level, the elected officials and technical staff coordinated by the mayor or the president of the local council and city manager must first identify what people need and hope for. And then they must develop a strategy, a plan of actions, and identify solutions and means to engage local actors such as business community and civil society. And they should always communicate about what they are doing now and what they are still to do. City manager has the role of a leader. This person is a communicator, technology facilitator, and if the manager, if the mayor is delegating the manager, he can do other things. The association intends to organize events to promote smart solutions for local communities. We also want networks and direct contacts with administrations. We want a dynamic connection between administration and private companies. We want to understand different local strategies. And we want to generate projects depending on the priorities. We want to measure functional needs. We need constant monitoring, feedback, and evaluation. And we also need to travel on site to get to know the managers. Now I will present the most expressive managers. We even had a competition at national level, and we have identified the best city managers. So, here you have Nicolae Moldovan, City Manager of the Year in Romania in 2019. The peak of his career was supervising the transformation of the community of Alba Carolina. This is the biggest fortress in the south of Europe. And this city became a tourist attraction. This project became a project of urban regeneration in Romania, and the professional portfolio of this manager includes more than 810 approved and coordinated projects. And he's funded with more than 60,000 million, and they're working on urban infrastructure, tourist infrastructure, and smart city initiatives. This manager has also coordinated a public-private partnership for the smart cities with the Romanian government, and he also has quite a number of active startups under his coordination. They tested more than 100 intelligent solutions to improve quality of life in cities, to build new companies and generate new jobs. Dorina Bahidea, the city manager of Turda, he was the City Manager of the Year of Romania in 2021. Turda municipality had numerous European projects. Among them, the project to turn Turda into a smart city. The key projects that he implemented were consolidation of institutional capacities of Turda municipality, efficient digital administration for citizens in Turda, and also democratization of public administration through digitalization. Another city manager is Marin Panait. He is from Sinaia. He's been in public administration for 18 years, and he is known for his open-minded attitude to innovation and efforts taken to improve well-being of citizens. He came to Sinaia municipality when he was 22, and he only wanted 3 months of internship. Now he is still there, and he's taking important steps to improve Sinaia. He created the slogan of Sinaia, Here and Now, and he is one of the strongest managers in Romania. Rareș Opinca is the city manager of Sector 5 of Bucharest. He has attracted more than 90 million investments from European funds, and his budget is built on the following principles. He wants more investment, more attention for schools and kindergartens, and more attention for the environment. cleanliness, parks, green areas, quality public spaces. Let me also tell you that here in the room we have 7 more city managers. They come from different administrative units, and I would like you to get to know them throughout the day. Thank you very much for your attention.